What's up, my Swamp Things in tiny string bikinis? How you doing today? It's Chris here, and we are going to be talking about the Swamp Thing. This is the new tower in Kingdom Rush Vengeance. Of course, your question is, should you buy the Swamp Thing? So, we got to talk about him, because obviously, in my opinion, you don't need any paid towers in this game to beat the game, alright? It's more of, do you enjoy them? Do you have fun with them? Are they worth the $5 to play with them? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to discuss it. So, first of all, if you guys want to press the like button for me, that'd be absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. Subscribe if you would like. I got more videos coming out for you guys very, very soon. In fact, I wasn't even planning on making this video, but people talked me into it, so I'm making it for you guys. Cost me $5, but that's okay. So the Swamp Thing, obviously a monster from the deepest swamps. He throws toxic balls and can fight on the roads. That's the interesting thing about this guy. He can fight on the road, but I'm going to show you guys how he's very, very interesting. It's sort of going to be a little bit complicated to decide where and how to use him properly. It's not a cut and clean answer, to be completely honest. But you guys want to see him in the game here, so we're just going to talk about him very, very quick here. Attack damage, kind of low, actually. Health, oh my god, really, really high. Defense says low, but that's not really true. He still has a mega defense because his health's so freaking high. I don't really know, man. There's 3 upgrades here which work in different ways based on if he's on the road or if he's attacking as a tower. Chance of stunning an enemy. It's a 20, 40, and 60% chance. Can upgrade 3 times here. And it's, depending on how you use him, either effective or not so much. The Smash. The Swamp Monster has a small chance of killing his enemy with each hit. Again, either worth it or not worth it, depending on if he's on the road or not. It's sort of weird. And then Carnivore, the monster regenerates his health with each kill. Worthless as a tower, but unbelievably, well, not even, I can't say overpowered, but like, you're never going to kill this guy. Like, ever. Maybe a boss, like, one-on-one could probably kill this guy. Or, like, can a boss even insta-kill him? I don't even know. Those are questions that we're going to have to answer another day here. But let's go and test him out here. We're playing on casual. So I first want to talk about him as a tower. All right, I don't want to do both at the same time. I want to do the tower aspect of him first, and then I want to talk about the fighting aspect of him on the road. So just to show you what he can do here, as a base tower, he can either be a tower that this is his range and he throws little balls, or you can say, I want him to go fight. So you're going to put him where you want him to fight, and you're going to let him go fight on the road here. One thing you should notice here is look at the range of his tower himself. But then when you look at the range of his ability to walk on the road, it's not very big at all. So deciding how you're going to want to use this guy is going to be a little bit difficult to do. That's the main issue with it. On top of that, as you upgrade further, you're going to get a lot more range. A lot more range, dude. This is probably the most insane thing about this guy is the range. Check this upgrade out, man. So I didn't even see what was the first attack damage here. Very consistent, by the way. 20 to 23 damage. Not too shabby. Not really a good damage doer himself, but for the range that he gets, not bad as a tower, man. Not bad at all, to be completely honest with you. But then as you upgrade him, here we go at 41 to 46 damage. Again, very consistent, but not a whole bunch of damage here for the very slow attack shot. But, of course, great range here. Moving on, we've got the third tier here, 71 to 78 damage. Again, fairly good, but now we're getting pretty pricey here. We're talking about $290 for this 4th tier upgrade. When we finally get this guy, of course, we get humongous range. Holy crap, man. That is amazing amounts of range. That is probably the best thing about this tower in its entirety, is the range. I love it, man. It's so cool. Like, there's not many other towers that I don't think there's another tower that can do that amount of range, except for maybe, like, the Twisted Sisters or something like that. But they frickin' suck, all right? The Witches, that tower, you got, yeah, nobody plays with them. They suck. But here he is, the Swamp Monster, 99 to 110 damage. Very, very consistent, but not a whole bunch of damage. For the amount of money we're spending on this guy, he's not doing that much damage by himself. So you got to wonder, are these upgrades going to be worth it for the Swamp Monster in the pool here, in the swamp that we just built for him? So let's send you guys out and let's see what's going on here. One thing you're going to notice, though, is as we went and we got upgrades, the Swamp Monster got bigger and stronger, right? It's because he's going to get bigger and stronger, so when he goes out on the field, he's going to do bigger and stronger things. Again, I'm going to talk about that in a second, but for now, we're talking about just the tower aspect of himself here. So ridiculous amounts of range. I think, again, that's the most important thing about this guy, because it means that if I want to put him somewhere, He can be in a very weird spot that I normally wouldn't put a tower in at all, or just be put in a tower that's sort of like a bad spot for it, just to kind of get some damage out of this guy. For example, if I was playing this level, I would almost always put artillery right here where he is, and I'd put some bone flingers here, and maybe some bone flingers there, or mausoleum here for cleanup, you know? As people walk through, you know, this general area where the horses are running through, I got cleanup work, right? Now this guy, he could be my cleanup, but also still hit people where I put my barracks right there. So the range is going to be the most important aspect of this guy. It's going to be so helpful for us to use, to combine with other towers in interesting and fun ways. And I don't even really understand the best way to use him yet, because I haven't played with him on every single level or anything like that. But that's going to be really important for us, all right? As far as the upgrades go, though, I gotta mention to you guys, man, he goes for a 2% insta-kill, to a 4% insta-kill, to a 6% chance of insta-killing his enemies over here. Not that good. But again, he shoots really slow. This is going to be sort of similar to the Dark Knights. I think it's actually a complete copy of the Dark Knights upgrade in itself. It's a 2% chance, 4% chance, and 6% chance, but there's 2 of them at that rate. So, that being said, obviously get a pretty good chance of insta-killing, or even a double % chance of insta-killing as a tower. Then you've got the Blinding Liquid. Each attack has a 20% chance of stunning the enemy, 40% chance, and 60% chance. Again, not that effective. I think stunning's fun. I think it's cool. And unless you're using this on very big guys or something like that, the stunning's just going to do almost nothing. For the amount of money that we spent on it, I would almost call it worthless, to be completely honest with you guys, as a tower. Alright? And then last but not least, the Carnivore upgrade. Each time the monster kills an enemy, he regenerates 35% of its maximum HP. Well, that's pretty frickin' sexy right there. Well, oh, wait. This is worthless if we're a tower. Oh, okay. So most of the upgrades here seem to be oriented towards putting them on the screen, putting them on the road. Indeed they do, Chris. So all of those upgrades, even though I said they're very bad, are not really worth it to get as a regular swamp monster throwing tower. They may very well be worth it for a guy walking out and fighting people on the road. So what's cool about this guy is he does grouped attack damage. So there we go. We're going to see the grouped attack damage, though, but that's going to affect the crits, where you insta-kill enemies. It's going to affect the stunning chance, where you can stun all of the enemies in the group over here. Holy crap, that's pretty cool. Now, instead of just randomly throwing it one ball and hoping that it stuns somebody, now we can stun 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys at a time. If we put enough guys kind of all grouped together like that, keep everybody stalled and stunned right there, well, that makes the Swamp Monster a pretty interesting tower. Indeed it does, Chris. Indeed it does. But you got to keep in mind that we don't really have much room to work with here. You're really going to have to put him in a spot and say, hey, I need to keep him there. There's really not much I can do about it. He's just got to go there, and he's got to do his job. So definitely keep that in mind when you're playing with the Swamp Monster here. The positioning of him is going to be sort of weird. All right, because you might think that over here is a good spot for the Swamp Monster. And it would be a great spot as a 4th tier shooting Swamp Monster tower, but it would be a fairly bad spot if we were going to put him over here on the road, you know? Or maybe not a good spot. You know, I don't know. Maybe not the best spot, because there's really not much room to work with. There's really not other towers there, so he's just sort of like a last-ditch effort for almost no reason, I guess. But as a regular shooting tower, he's pretty freaking cool here. Does decent amounts of damage and has that great range. Just going to be kind of like a nice little support tower. So this guy's really complicated. Like I was saying, guys, he's not a cut and clean answer of he's just absolutely amazing. But I think that we could design a lot of different ways to use this guy in combination with a lot of different other towers that we normally use in a very effective and fun manner as well. I think that's what makes this guy so interesting, is the different options that we can do with this guy right here. So now what we need to do, though, is we actually are going to let's sell this guy real quick. Let's buy a new one. So we got to talk about his attack damage as a regular guy on the road. All right. So there we go. Let's toss him up here for a second. It says 20 to 23. That's actually not the attack damage he does. That's the tower damage. If you click on him himself, he's got 800 health and does 10 to 20 damage. So much less consistent than we are used to here. 10 to 20. All right. Interesting. Something to definitely keep in mind here as we upgrade him up to the next level here. Again, it says 41 to 46, but him himself is 20 to 40. So not quite as good, to be honest. Not doing as much damage as the tower himself would be doing, but we're not doing group damage. So upgrade him further. Now we are a 3rd tier swamp monster, Swamp Thing. 30 to 80, even less consistent, man. Holy crap, 30 to 80 now. That's a pretty wide range of stuff to do here, but he's got 2,200 health. Very unlikely to die here. You know, some of the most health out of anybody in the game, I think. I don't think there's anything else with that much health in the game. And finally, last but not least, we've got the final swamp monster, the Swamp Thing. 40 to 100. Still inconsistent. And as a regular Swamp Thing would actually be a somewhat bad tower to have. The only way the Swamp Thing is going to be a good tower or a good combo to have is if you get these extra upgrades beyond that. More specifically, at the very least, the Blinding Liquid here. The chance of stunning. Getting maybe 2 Swamp Things on top of each other here with some other towers sort of throwing things at them or doing extra things or having your hero near them just to shoot at them from behind. It's going to be wonderful, man. Having that 60% chance times 2, man, things are going to be very, very strugglicious to get through these guys. Overall, again, just an interesting tower, man. Overall, again, very difficult to use. Oh, so last but not least, we never really talked about the Carnivore upgrade here. So check this guy out. I mean, we've been fighting guys all day. I have not really tried to heal him or anything like that. I wouldn't say he's impossible to kill, but holy crap, the chances of him dying are pretty freaking low here, unless you're fighting like some of the strongest guys in the game. And even then, like, you can try to move them out of the way or something like that. Just like a tiny bit of micro is going to save their life. But if you really want to, for only $68, you make him virtually unkillable. I think the only way you're going to kill this guy is if you have to fight a boss, or if he can't reach a certain enemy that's just going to shoot him with, like, magic beams or something like that from a far distance. But at 3,000 health, and he restores, what did it say, 35% of his health every single time he kills somebody. So every time he kills an enemy, he's getting back 1,000, like 100 health or so. Like 1,100 health, man. That's absolutely insane. Every time he kills an enemy. So like 3,000 health every 3 enemies, man. That's crazy. Impossible to freaking kill if you ask me. I would actually love to see you guys trying to make this guy die, to be completely honest. I think that would be cool to do. But you definitely need that stun chance. The crit chance is not a necessity, but it's, again, kind of fun to have. It's kind of cool to have, especially for a lot of stronger enemies over here. If you can block them in and then just randomly insta-kill some of them, going to be very, very, very helpful. But against some of these lower health enemies, it just doesn't matter very much at all. One thing that you're going to notice here is these Swamp Things have no ability to attack flying units if they are on the road. They don't, like, throw Swamp Things at it or block them or anything like that, but they can group randomly attack these guys. That's the interesting thing about it. So if there's just only flying guys coming in, you can't attack them, you can't do anything. But just because the way grouped attack damage works in the entire Kingdom Rush series, if you attack something on the ground, it can still hit things in the air right there. You might have seen some of those birds die from our attacks, which is kind of cool. So this is a little bit longer video than usual because basically I was reviewing almost two towers. I don't know, man. If I had to give him a rating, I would probably give him a solid 9. I think that I have not really found the best ways to use him yet, and I think you guys definitely can. He's an interesting tower, he's a good tower, but using him effectively might be a little bit difficult, and that might put him off some players. I think he might be one of those things that you don't want to use on every single map. He might be one of those things that you only want to use against certain types of enemies. So picking and choosing which maps you might want to use him on might be the way to use this guy, alright? So if you guys enjoyed my video, again, please press that like button for me. I'd really, really appreciate that. It makes me so, so happy when I see a high like-to-dislike ratio. So if you want to be kind to me, please do that. If you don't want to be kind, that's okay. I completely understand. Or if you don't like the video because you don't like the video, that's okay too. I get it. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, and have a super-duper delicious day.